So you need to understand how the market works, and investors education as well as in part of the regulators' assignments, keeping an eye on what investors know and why is education very important, not just reading the stock tables. So let's get a sense of what the SEC is trying to do in terms of investors education. Let's talk to Tunde Kamali, who is the head of the investor education at the SEC. Is live to us from our studios in Abuja, the country's political capital. Kamali, good morning. Welcome to the show here.
I lost it.
Kamali, I can hear you. I heard what you just said. Yes. That means can you hear me clearly? Okay. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Kamali. If you can hear me, this conversation is just simply around what you call investors' education. What is the SEC or the regulator trying to achieve here?
Okay. Thank you, Bosid. Thank you, Bosid. What the SEC is trying to achieve here is more of living up to the twin side of its mandate. And by that, I mean the SEC has a twin mandate of regulating the market and as well developing the market. And to regulate, you make rules, you make regulations, but to develop is a different ballgame entirely. And what I mean by that is to develop, you have to think more of the people, the process, and the products. What products should we bring to the market? How much do the people know? How easy is it for them to live through the process? And how much do they know such that they can be protected from falling into scams and all sorts of products and instruments like that. So what the SEC has decided to do is to focus on a sector of a society which has long been not forgotten, so to say, but not served enough, and that is the military. So we're planning to have a mega enlightenment outreach tomorrow, Thursday, 29th of August, focusing on military, paramilitary, and anti-graft agencies resident here in Abuja. And this is going to be the first in a series of others across the nation. And the essence for it is to enlighten them on the abundant opportunities in the capital market for them to grow their wealth, while also letting them know what to look out for when they are approached with different kinds of schemes, like the MMMs, like the looms, and the sorts that we have seen in this country so far. So that basically is what the Commission is trying to do, and this is the first in the series.
Kamali, why are you targeting this section of the investment community or investors community? Why do you think investment education is important for this class of people? What's the thinking within the SEC? What are you trying to achieve here with this class of investors?
Okay, but basically, what the SEC has realized is, while we have been focusing on other sectors or other industries or other classes of citizens of Nigeria over the years, the military, the paramilitary have so far not been engaged enough. And what you also realize is retirement plans could start with your investment as soon as you get an employment. But in the military, you realize that a lot of people retire without nothing to fall back on. Yet, they get involved in scams like the ones I mentioned. And at the end of the day, they get their fingers burnt. So we felt, okay, in addition to every other thing that we've been doing, let us also look at this angle and see how much knowledge we can bring into the environment to enable them, to empower them, to build wealth, such that even after retirement, a lot of them can fall back on this investment and still continue to live the kind of life they desire.
Well, is this what you called ramping up on local investors here? Are you targeting groups, or are you targeting individuals, or using the various institutions to target those within those institutions who may want to enter the market for the first time or re-enter the market after perhaps what happened to the markets in 2008, I beg your pardon?
Okay, yeah, we are not strictly targeting sectors or industries. Ordinarily, what we do is public enlightenment. And to do that, we go to markets, we go to schools, we've gone almost everywhere. But we realize that this set of people in our society know next to nothing about the capital market. And there's a need for a special program for them so we can bring them too on board. That is one. Then, two, like I stated, the 2008 crisis actually uh, made the market lose a lot of confidence in the investors. And we feel that a lot of people lack the knowledge, the requisite knowledge to invest in the market and be able to make informed decisions. So while we're targeting this set of people, we're also continuing with the general public enlightenment drive as recommended by in the 10-year capital market master plan.
Okay, so how much has been achieved so far in investors education by the SEC? If you look at what your department, you're the head of this particular unit, a very important part of the SEC. What has been achieved so far? Bring us up to speed on that.
Okay. So far, we have been able to decentralize the activity, okay, such that in our 3 zones in Kano, Lagos, and Port Harcourt, we're also able to carry on simultaneously investor education activities. And we have seen a rise in interest. We receive inquiries almost on a daily basis. And we also see that a lot more people are getting more interested in the capital market, and especially in the area of collective investment schemes. While for an area like in the north, a lot more people are getting interested in non-interest finance, which we also call Islamic capital market products. And this wouldn't have happened if we are not taking the steps to pass on to the public, generally, the requisite knowledge that they require to understand that the capital market, yes, they call it an elite market, but if I'm not an elite, I still stand a great chance to make investments and build my wealth, especially through schemes such as the collective investment schemes, which will not require any technical knowledge on my side, but will be dependent on the ability of a fund manager to manage the portfolio and also ensure that risk edge. So I can tell you that we have achieved a lot of awareness. Lots more people are informed. They are more informed about the capital market, but we would not stop because it's a continuous thing. And new people get to come into the market or get to know about the market on a daily basis. And as we speak, we're also looking at introducing capital market studies into universities, while we're almost done with the part of primary and secondary schools. This is all in a bid to ensure that we're able to generate knowledge and awareness across the nation on capital market issues. So we've achieved a lot.
Great. Bringing us up to speed and part of what your future investor education looking forward to do. But again, what are investors in these various engagements, what are they asking the SEC? What are their chief concerns when it comes into putting their money on our market state? What are the key concerns that they are expressing here?
Okay, thank you, boss. The key concerns are around safety and return. How safe will my investment be? Which is why we need to educate them on what to look out for when they get approached with very juicy, too sweet to be true schemes, which at the end of the day burn their fingers. They're also looking at the return. What do I get in return? And what we realize is a lot of people look forward to investing today and making their returns tomorrow, which is not the way it is and is not the way it can ever be. You would have to allow time for your investment to be made such that you can get your return and continue over the years to reap from the investments you have made with your hard-earned income. So majorly, the concerns have been around safety and returns.
Tunde Kamali, thank you so much. And of course, when you put those folks together tomorrow for this investor education, give us an idea. We'll be following through to find out what they are telling you and what you're telling them as well, what they're asking, what their concerns are. Thank you so much for talking to us about the SEC's investor education program. Do have a great day. Thank you so much from our Abuja studios. Tunde Kamali, Head of Investor Education. Thank you and see you next time. And this is the first paragraph of this Bloomberg report, which will form the basis of our next discussion. It says Africa's largest oil producer could run out of money if it doesn't boost revenues urgently. After the break, President Buhari's business.